Okay, welcome to part two of how I searched for, found, and bought this Roadtrek. In this part, we're going to take a look at how to determine what Roadtreks have been selling for. In this example, I'm going to show you a search that I did on eBay. eBay is one place where, quite frankly, I wouldn't recommend unless there's a vehicle that you're interested in that's local that you can get to and look at. I wouldn't recommend bidding on vehicles on eBay. I've had experience doing that. They've been bad experiences, and I've never had a good experience. So, maybe other people do. That's fine. If you want to give it a shot, go ahead. But my experience tells me stay away from bidding on vehicles on eBay. But that doesn't mean eBay isn't valuable for other information. And that's what we're going to look at today. So in this next portion here, I'm going to open up an eBay search window. We're going to put for our criteria, we're going to put Class B RVs. Now that's general, not specifically Roadtrek, but that's going to be inclusive of most any RV that somebody knows enough about to call Class B RV. It's going to give us some return on our investment. We're going to be able to look and see a few Roadtreks and maybe some other models and brands that we hadn't considered. We can look at them and see what they're selling for too. Mainly what it does is give us a benchmark, a level at which people have advertised a vehicle, other people have responded, made a bid, and committed to buy the vehicle at a certain price. And then in the advanced portion of the search, we can look at what those auctions wound up selling for, which is what we really want. That's what we want to know, is what did this transaction that took place, what did the vehicle sell for? That gives us an idea of what people are willing to pay for one. And when we go out in the marketplace, we know kind of what to expect. What if our expectations are too low, then maybe we need to raise them because the market's changed, prices have gone up, whatever the case might be. So anyway, we'll take a look and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so how do we find out what somebody might have paid for an RV that they bid on eBay, for example? Many people may not be aware of this, but right over here is a button called Advanced. And if we click on that, we will come to a page where we can search for Class B RVs. We can come down here and select sold listings. We don't want completed. We don't want title and description. We want to know what sold and what the price was. So when we go down to the bottom, we click search. And the page will populate with all the recent Class B motorhomes that have sold. I don't know what the heck this is, but right now we're going to look for and see if we can find a Roadtrek that's sold. As you can see, there's a number of RVs that have sold, variety of prices. Here's a Roadtrek, best offer accepted. So let's take a look at this one. The price it sold for was $7,500. Let's take a look at the original listing, which we can do here. And we can see it's kind of maybe a little bit edgy. I don't know. It's hard to tell from photographs. Sometimes they look great. Other times they look real bad. Well, we can see the seat here is damaged. Interior-wise, it looks like it's pretty much intact. This might be, whoops, there's a little body damage there. It's sold recently. So that's what $7,500 will buy you. Let's go back and see if we can find something a little better. All right, we're still going. There's a lot of variety here, that's for sure. Here's a Pleasure Way, similar to a Roadtrek, quite a bit similar. Another Pleasure Way. Looks like this Pleasure Way and that Pleasure Way might be the same motorhome that have sold twice. Kind of hard to figure that one. There's a Coach House, another nice brand. Several Rialtas. They're really getting pricey, the Rialtas. $28,000, $29,000. Another Coach House. Well, we're looking for, perhaps, if we can find it, another Roadtrek. Here's one here. So again, we can look at the original listing. We can see where it sold. It looks like it's in Washington State. They wanted a deposit of $500 within 24 hours to secure it. Looks pretty similar to my Roadtrek, a couple of years newer, but I don't go by model years. I always go by mileage, because mileage is indicative of the wear on the vehicle. The differences between a 95 and a 2003 Roadtrek are very minimal. This body and model run ran for about 10 years. So there's not a significant difference between a 95 and a 2003. Anyway, this gives us some details. We have some pictures to look at. They're just, unfortunately, they're small ones here that we can run through and see. This looks pretty much like a normal Roadtrek. There's a little bit of signs of wear and so forth, but overall I'd say it's, normal for its age. But here we are at the price. Oh my gosh, $18,900. That's a lot of money. Kind of like the one here that was locally here in Sunnyvale. So what we have so far is a vehicle in Bellingham, Washington, another vehicle supposedly listed in Sunnyvale, California, about the same age, mileage, etc., selling or being offered at the same price, and apparently one of them sold for that price, according to what we found on eBay. So this is what I find valuable about eBay. It is the advanced search feature that allows me to find what vehicle sold for. It helps me to value vehicles that I might be looking at and determine, at least in a ballpark way, what they're selling for and what I might be able to negotiate from a range of high to low, the price somewhere in there that I might be able to get a vehicle for. So to me, that's what makes eBay valuable. Bidding on eBay for a vehicle, not so much. Well, I hope that was eye-opening. And you learn something that you didn't know about eBay. The one thing we learned is, first of all, these Roadtreks are pretty scarce. There aren't a lot of them available for sale. One that doesn't need maybe as much remedial care to get it back in serviceable order is going to be valued higher than one that's maybe going to need a little TLC to get it where we want it to be, comfortable for us, etc. So I hope that this little review has been helpful, and we're going to move along into part 3, which will kind of get into what we want to look for in terms of description, making a contact, setting an appointment to visit and inspect the vehicle, and how to evaluate its value based on the current market, and what kind of an offer might be a reasonable offer to make on any particular vehicle. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you think it'd help somebody, share it with them. And always comment as you see fit. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 3.